This is True Transformative Fitness, and welcome to my 6 round boxing workout with a unique upper body conditioning workout at the end of the boxing. So stay tuned to the end. So we're gonna go 4 rounds with the Cobra Reflex bag, and we're gonna go 2 rounds with the Aqua heavy bag. So starting off, I'm just warming up, getting the blood flowing. Just working on time and distance, conditioning, getting that good cardiovascular work in, because you're only as strong as what your heart is. All right. We all know that. That's the strongest muscle in the body that should be a high priority. So as you see, I'm warming up, starting everything with the jab and then following with straight rights, hooks, etc. Making sure I'm fitting some head movement and foot movement in. Because at all times either your feet need to be moving. If your feet not moving, your hands better be moving. Vice versa. So you see, I'm working my way around the reflex bag from right to left, left to right, not staying in the same spot. Also, slipping in that head movement. Basically, trying to get a good sweat going on to get that core temperature up. Because once your core temperature is up, you have better, quicker movement. Yep, picking my shots, really not taking any breaks. Throughout the whole round, trying to keep my hands moving and my feet moving because we're trying to tap into that cardiovascular adaptation. So we trying to fit punches and bunches, working our way to fatigue, still moving around. And they label it a reflex bag because see, it's on a spring, and that spring when I'm hitting is coming back at you like an opponent. So you have to have reactive skills so basically you got to play offense and defense. Excuse me. So we still working, and for the first couple of rounds, we're not even going to rest in between rounds. We're gonna get some head movement in with that slip bag, that Cuz del Amato slip bag that you see. Yeah, making sure my hands still up in between combinations, keeping my head movement. And from a fitness perspective, we're trying to work our way up to zone 3, 4, and 5. Why is that important? Because when we're in zone 4 and 5, we're using carbohydrates and we're using body fat as energy. So of course that's going to get you in better shape. So now we're working on head movement, and as I'm getting that head movement in there, you see I'm throwing some combinations, some counters, moving at all time. It looked like I already broke a sweat here. Yeah, I'm moving to where the bag is. You see I'm moving in a circle. I'm basically tailoring myself to how the slip bag is moving. And we have a minute of this in between rounds. So we have 3-minute rounds and 1-minute round in between those rounds. All right, so that round is over. So this will be round 2 with the Cobra Reflex bag. Excuse me, I'm nice and warmed up now. Yeah, just putting the combinations together, moving around the reflex bag, making sure that, once again, just to reiterate, that I'm moving my hands and my feet at all time. Keeping my hands up and reacting to when the bag comes back at me. Moving the whole time. As a matter of fact, while we're still in the middle of this workout, I'm gonna read off some data, some fitness data from this workout. So Let me see, I'm pulling it up now. The workout was let me see, was a total of 33 minutes. I burnt a total of 383 calories. My average heart rate was 150 beats per minute. I had a high heart rate of 178 beats per minute. The zones, here we go with the zones. This specific information here. I was in zone 1 for only 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Zone 2 for 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Zone 3 for 8 minutes and 7 seconds. Zone 4 for 12 minutes and 18 seconds. And zone 5 for 6 minutes and 7 seconds. And just to reiterate on the details of these zones, zone 1 is 129 beats, right? Zone 2, 130 to 140 beats per minute. Zone 3, 141 to 152 beats per minute. Zone 4, 153 to 163 beats per minute. And of course, the very often not visited zone 5, 164 plus beats per minute. And why is that important? Because when you're in zone 4 or 5, you're burning calories at a higher rate. You're burning calories faster than the other zones, but you have to work for it. You have to work for it. You have to be moving around to achieve this kind of data. Okay, so I'm still working the bag, moving around, and as you can see, I'm rocking an all gold for Gold's Gym. That's right. Yeah, head movement, and countering. You see, I haven't rested, not yet. Keeping the intensity high, because the whole point of this workout is to create an adaptation, and not only create an adaptation, but to also work on technique and skill. And furthermore, to speak a little more in detail about that, to drive home technique and skill, you have to have endurance. The longer you can have energy, the more you can hold your form and not get sloppy. So that's why it's important to actually push yourself during your workouts, as if somebody's watching over your shoulder, and not being lazy about it. Yeah, you see me showing the guns. Yeah, 45 calibers, if you was wondering what caliber they were. All right, so now we getting right back to work. I believe this is round 3, if my memory serves me correct. Yep, keeping the high energy. You know, we at 65, 70%, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you know, when you're working out, you don't go full throttle like you in a real fight. You know what I mean? You don't learn that way. You learn by moving slow, and then, naturally just get faster without even thinking about it. You know what I mean? There are times when you go all out, then there's times when you go 60%, there's times when you go 25%, but then there's times when you go 80, 90%. You know what I mean? It all depends on how you feel, what the body is working with, because I do a lot of resistance training, so sometimes my shoulders may not feel up to par, or I may have a still recovering muscle, so you got to dial the intensity back. Can I murder these bags every time? Of course I can. I mean, but for what? I mean, but you're not really going to learn any technique by doing that. You know what I mean? I mean, you can exhaust yourself, yeah, you know, but it's almost like going to the gym and maxing out, going for a PR every time. You know what I mean? That's what I equivalent that to. You know, so you want to dial it back so you can learn about your body and get some good cardiovascular work in, while getting in better shape. So the whole point of we doing this is, am I a prize fighter? No, I'm a trainer. You understand what I'm saying? But you do want to keep your self-defense skills on par at all times, you know. And on top of that, that's why I say boxing is one of the most efficient workouts you can do, because you're getting in better shape. But as you're getting in better shape, you're honing those self-defense skills. Yeah, you're gonna have that much more advantage over someone who hasn't thrown any punches in a long time. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. And also, furthermore, even if you're fighting someone who's stronger than you, right? How long can that person stay strong for? If they're not in shape and they can only stay strong for a minute or 2 minutes, and you still at peak strength 8 minutes later, I mean, come on, you're gonna have that advantage. That's why it's always important to stay in shape at all time. You know what I mean? So you see, I'm still working hard, and I believe after this round, I'm gonna start doing some active recovery. All right. Active recovery is where I'm still moving around. I'm not sitting down, but I'm not doing any head movement with the slip bag. Because again, I just read that data off to you where I was in the different zones. So I felt myself feeling real fatigue due to the intensity. So, I'm smart enough to dial it back, to give myself that minute rest, to finish this last round on the reflex bag, and then we're gonna move to the aqua heavy bag. And let me tell you something else too. If you've never done this before, if you've hitting a traditional bag or a floor to ceiling bag and a reflex bag, and then you go hit a aqua bag, a bag that has water as the resistance, that aqua bag is gonna feel, yeah, the bag is gonna feel extra heavy due to the resistant profile changing from the traditional bags to the aqua heavy bag, because that water absorbs your punches like none other. It makes you feel like it just takes all your power shots and just like spreads it across the bag, right? So this is my last round on the Cobra Reflex bag. Trying to finish off like how I began, high energy, moving at all time, making sure I'm taxing that cardiovascular system to cause that adaptation that I was explaining earlier. Um, yeah, yeah, picking my shots, making sure my form is good, making sure I got that head movement in there, making sure my feet are moving at the same time. And again, like I said, we just going at like 65% here. Yeah, just working all that lactic acid that's built up in my body from the resistance training, the barbell and dumbbell work, along with the machine resistance training I was doing. Because I promote full body resistance training for the most supreme calorie burn that you can get. And also, furthermore, if you're an athlete, you should be performing full body resistance training, because if you do a split or whatever and you still have like a body part still recovering, you're setting yourself up to have an injury pull, to have a muscle pull, or a possible injury. All right. So I believe this round is winding down, and then I'm gonna set everything up so we can get some good view for that aqua heavy bag when I start the workout dealing with that beast. Yep, hands still moving. Yeah, yeah, that gold on gold look kind of sweet, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, still, I believe this is like my third time breaking these gloves, and these are WBC special edition. I know I released a video showing the whole collection of them that I have, but I believe this is the first video that I'm actually using these gloves in action, right? And they feel phenomenal. Yeah, they sure do. All right, so yeah, this round is winding down. Still moving around, trying to keep the bag moving at all time, right? Even though I could tell I'm gassing out because that's not happening. But again, just to reiterate, I read the data to you all. You see how much work I put in that 30-minute workout. And with my heart rate, especially when my heart rate hit 178 beats. Come on, man. Right? All right, so now you see I'm drenched in sweat. So now we're about to get a good viewership of the Aqua heavy bag while I set everything up. And yeah, I'm feeling it at the end. And again, let me reiterate that, stay to the end of this so you can see a unique upper body resistance training quick session I'm gonna do at the end of this boxing workout. It's very unique. And the tools that I'm using it what makes it real unique. So okay, we setting up the Aqua heavy bag. I don't even know how many punches I punched so far on the Cobra Reflex bag. But with me being exhausted, now I'm about to try to punch this 153-pound Aqua bag. It's gonna feel like 300 pounds, like I explained earlier. Okay, here we go. We just gonna do 2 rounds. All right, just building up, a feel for it because it's gonna feel super foreign when you go from a regular bag hitting a regular leather bag to hitting an aqua bag. Due to several reasons, due to the resistance is water, of course. uh and the regular bags, they have leather on the exteriors, but this bag is plastic. It's like a very industrial grade plastic, right, that you're punching against. So again, with these factors in place, it gives you a total different feel of a resistance. So that's what makes it so unique. And hopefully I had to change mics, so hopefully the quality of sound hasn't dropped off. But we're gonna get the job done anyway. Alright. So again, this is the first round on the Aqua heavy bag after doing 4 rounds on the Cobra Reflex bag. So we're fighting through exhaustion and trying to, not rip through the bag, but again build up some more fatigue, because um, we don't want my cortisol levels to be crazy. When your cortisol levels get out of hand, that means your body isn't building muscle or burning or cutting body fat. You know what I mean? It's in a state of disrepair. So you want to monitor your cortisol levels. You know, it's a reason why sprinters don't go all out during training. When it leads up to the actual meet, you know, that's when they actually let it all out. Same thing with boxing. Same thing with most sports that you can think about. All right. So we're still working through this round, working through fatigue, and I'm trying to tell you, this bag, even though it's 153 pounds, it feels like I'm trying to rip through 250 to 300 pounds, man. Because the fatigue factor. But this is going to teach you to be strong while being tired. And also, once you recover, you're going to be that much more stronger with your punching power. Still working it. Just mixing my shots up. Now the round is over. I'm doing some active recovery, walking around, letting that heart rate come down, stretching my arms out to open up my lungs to get more oxygen within my body. That's an old football trick where when you tired, everybody wanna put their hands on their knees. You gotta put your hands above your head. Yeah, we keeping that in vogue. You know, I retained everything that I learned through my fitness journey ever since I was a little boy, all the way up until now. all the stuff that makes sense, all the meat of information that's useful. You know what I mean? I apply that to myself and to my clients. So I believe this minute of rest is almost over, and then we're gonna get, yep. So we're gonna get to this last round, just emptying out my gas tank pretty much, mixing my shots up. Within this round, I'm doing a couple of different things. I want to create accumulation of punches where I get a lot of volume in, but then I'm also mixing in some mid power shots here and there. Just mixing it all up, um, working the bag from every angle, keeping my hands moving, feet moving, bouncing on my toes. See all that movement, I'm using everything. When you're boxing, you're using your toes, your feet, your hands, your brain, your heart. You're using everything. Versus if you're lifting weights and you do a set of bench press, or even if you superset it with something else, but then you rest, the data looks totally different. The fitness data looks totally different when you're doing a traditional resistance training workout versus like a boxing workout or a true cardiovascular workout where you're using your body in an athletic manner. And I will also argue to say, oh yeah, I'm putting in work now. I will also want to put out there that guys who are in love with the hammer machines, you know the big stiff buff guys, right? I would argue to say that brothers, you would take your physique to the next level if you get some true cardio. I'm not talking about steppers, resting on a stepper with poor posture and stuff like that. I'm talking about real cardiovascular work that takes effort. That would change your physique and give you that more athletic. Will you be as strong as you are now? Probably not. But you got to sacrifice something for athleticism, you know? So, anyway, we're going to finish this round out so we can get to this unique upper body workout. Well, I call it upper body conditioning workout because it couples well with boxing, right? So, let's see, probably got like a minute left in this round. Working every angle, not staying in one spot, because fights are fought in a circular motion. All right, so now the round is over. Now we about to get to this upper body work. Resistance training is very important. That's why we gotta fit it in at the end, just a different style. Different style. Okay, this tool I'm about to grab, it's a spring. It's a spring in the middle of it that has resistance. And when you see me demonstrating the move, the first move, that move is gonna work. Is gonna work our shoulders, our chest, our biceps, our triceps. It's gonna work everything. Even your ability to generate power. Real quick. And we're gonna do sets of 20, right? And that thing has stupid resistance to it. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 20. And I believe, well, you already know, it's working your forearms, your hand grip, everything. So again, I'm gonna peel this shirt off so I can use my body as a canvas to illustrate the various muscle groups that we're hitting. Okay? And believe it or not, it hits your core too as well. You know what I mean? If you're putting the correct effort into it. Because especially when the reps start getting high. You know what I mean? That's when the resistance is at its most. Yeah, you can see the various muscle groups contracting: shoulders, chest, biceps, core. Even though my back is to you, even my back. You know what I mean? Your hand grip and my heart, because it's gonna run your heart up. Yeah, yep. That's set two. So we got one more set, and we're gonna get to the next unique upper body conditioning tool that I'm gonna use. And I believe I damn near struggled to get to 20 on this third set. And you see, I didn't rest that much. 2, 3, 4. I know I got my 20, but I believe that once I got up there, I struggled a little bit. But again, this coupled with throwing all them punches, perfect, perfect, perfect workout. So now we're gonna flip it the other way. You see, I had it going down. So now I had now I have a supinated grip. I had an overhand grip at first. Now we're doing 3 sets of 20 with the hand supinated. So it's working the body, the same muscle groups, just from a different angle. At first we was bending the tool down. Now we're bending it up in the opposite direction. Working that body from every angle. See? I feel it more so, and we're hitting the same muscle groups, but the targeted area, the tension area, kind of changed. Even though it's in the same muscle groups, it's in a different part. If that makes sense. Hopefully, I explained that right. All right, it's set two. So again, it's a total of 6 sets. 3 sets in one direction, 3 sets in another, and we're doing I'm sorry, sets of 10 on the second one. Yeah, cause yeah, I was pretty much fried after that. We just doing sets of 10. Okay, so I believe. Let me remember. Okay, yeah, I'm setting up. I'm getting the next upper body conditioning tool. And this is a real unique one. As a matter of fact, I should have started off with this tool because it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. As a matter of fact, it's so difficult that when I do my resistance training workouts, when I start off my chest workouts with this tool right here, because it's so difficult, and I got so sore the first time I ever used it. My chest, I had like a deep soreness, almost like I don't know. It feels like you're pressing like 300 plus pounds off your chest, but you're gonna see why. A very unique tool. So, all right. So now I'm slipping my gloves on, so you see them, right? You slip them over your fists, as I'm showing you. You see the tip of that? So you're gonna perform knuckle push-ups on those and that little rubber tip. You gotta balance your whole body against that tip, against the flat floor, because I'm doing it on the concrete for a reason. Because I don't want no give in the floor, right? You see the instability? Look at my stabilizer muscles shaking. You see that? That is a lot of tension, ladies and gentlemen. I want to use another word, but we're gonna keep this PG-13. But that's a lot of tension. Each one of those push-ups are probably worth 40 to 50 regular push-ups. You know what I mean? I'm showing you from the side angle, the little tip. And you know, I'm not even counting how many push-ups. I'm just doing them until I feel as though I'm not going to crash into the floor and bust my face open. So I'm just concentrating on the power, exerting power, and working against the instability of these things, man. Like, I mean, they're amazing. They're one of the most hardest things I had to do in a while. See, look at that. Look at my hand shaking. Yeah, but I'm manhandling it though. You know what I mean? This is how you build true strength and muscle by doing something that's very difficult that you can't do but so many repetitions of. Because when I first started using it, I could only do about 3, 4 repetitions, man. It's that hard, yo. And I'm a strong dude, right? But once I start, challenging myself with these two little beasts, man. So imagine if I was fresh, I'd be able to do countless repetitions. I mean, I ain't gonna say it like that because it is still hard, but I'll probably be able to do more than what I'm doing now. That's why it's called conditioning. I think this is gonna be my third and final set because these joints are beasts. Look at that. Yeah, that's it. That's it. 6 rounds with a unique upper body workout at the end of it. And hopefully that's motivating you and I'm telling you it's done. Come get some.